Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do a meal prep video. By the time you're seeing this, is probably Monday. We are headed to the grocery store now, and I'm gonna pick up some things so that I can get my meal prep started. And yeah, I hope this week's meal prep is a lot better than last week's. I'm honestly starting to get the hang of this thing as well. But I hope this week's meal prep is a lot better than last week's. By the time Thursday hit, I was over it. I was like sitting there like drinking down my food because I just did not want to eat it, but we don't waste around here. That is why I'm going to meal prep the way that I am meal prepping this week, because the things I'm using for lunch could also be used for dinner, so that I'm using everything up. I don't have any bad like fruits and veggies in my fridge and all of that. Also, key that I have heard from a lot of people that are nutritionists, dietitian, whatever, that it is better to get your fruits and veggies frozen because it keeps the nutrients in them, because by the time you actually eat it, it may already be spoiled. Which I could see in the case of like vegetables, it will last longer. So then by the time they're frozen in the freezer, they're good. That makes sense. I'm just not gonna get frozen onions, because that's like, I don't know. I'm gonna get like broccoli and green beans frozen. I already have broccoli though, so I don't think I have to get that. That is a plus. When things last longer in the fridge, a win is a win. Okay, so enough yapping so we could get on into the video. Okay, so when I got home, I was really hungry, and don't go to the store hungry. That was my first mistake, but I know it's a Sunday and I didn't want everything to be picked over by the time I got there. So I had to go get my groceries. But then I came home and I had my last meal prep from last week. So I am making a rice with ground turkey, cottage cheese, and like cheddar cheese blend, queso, for on top of that with broccoli. And then I'm also going to be making a Mediterranean bowl for lunch with orzo pasta. And then we're gonna add tomatoes, red onion, cucumbers, and we're gonna marinate our chicken in a Greek yogurt and bake that. So I'm gonna start prepping the chicken now for this. I'm going to be eyeballing this, but the seasonings we'll be using for it are parsley, onion powder, paprika, and garlic powder, and dill weed. Also Greek yogurt and lemon. So those are our things that we got. I had the seasonings. I actually had to get more garlic, and I had to buy dill because I never bought dill. So we're going to start with, I'm going to just take this off. I was going to put it up my arm. We are going to score the chicken. Patting my chicken dry so that when it gets in the bowl, it has all the seasonings absorbed. So we're going to score the chicken, which is essentially cutting lines in it horizontally and vertically, but not all the way through. Okay. So have our Greek yogurt, 0% fat. Right. I don't know why Foyer does this. I guess it like preserves it. Yeah, I guess so when you take off the top. When I first saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, it's plastic, it's bad. Like, I didn't know it was plastic. I thought the yogurt itself was bad. Okay, I have a cup of cottage cheese that I'm putting in here. A cup of Greek yogurt. Sorry, not cottage cheese. Then I'm going to put the juice of half a lemon. Listen, meal prep is so fun, but it's also like a lot. I was gonna measure it, but I'm not. So, dill weed, just going to do until I feel looks good. Garlic powder. Onion powder. We're gonna do a little bit less of this. We're gonna sprinkle just a bit of parsley and paprika. Give it a shake. So, gonna mix it up. Oh, that's what I want to add to it. Olive oil. Little trickle. Yay. All right, that should be good now. Beautiful. I almost forgot about that. I almost forgot to do my favorite part when I'm meal prepping, is get my little digestive system aid going on here with my Olipop. I also like Poppy, but Olipop is like my OG. I'm going to preheat my oven to 425. And then we are going to boil off our pasta. Yes, we're gonna boil off our pasta and we're going to cook our rice at the same time. Last week I prepped 2 cups of rice and that lasted me all week long. So that is what we're going to do again because that was a perfect amount. Okay. Now that that is cooking, we're gonna boil our water. I'm going to be baking my chicken in this pan. I'm going to put a light line of olive oil since we already put some olive oil in our blend already. Oh, while I was off, I think that I scored the chicken a little wrong. You're supposed to make a diamond shape. I didn't necessarily do that. But like I said, everything is trial and error. My oven has preheated. I'm going to pop the chicken in there now. I would think you guys know how to cook ground turkey by now, but I will walk you through it. Spray your pan. I saw someone on TikTok today cutting their ground meat with scissors, and I was never so annoyed. I'm going to put the taco seasoning pack that I got on my ground turkey. Slow dried pasta is the best pasta. Don't get quickly dried pasta. 8 servings. I should not have put that whole... This is the taco seasoning I got. I know that this probably isn't the best one. Like, there's canola oil and soybean, which isn't good. And I should have got the Siete. But Wegmans was so packed. I really needed to put a hoodie on. I was cold and I don't feel like turning down my AC. Our chicken's almost done. Yeah, no, it's not. It is most definitely not almost done. Sort of tempted to just put the cottage cheese in with it. I'm gonna do it. We put a cup of cottage cheese in. We're gonna put 20 grams of cheddar cheese in. I hope this is good. I post this and you guys are like, Allie, that was rancid. I'm like, whoops. Sorry, guys. We're gonna add some more of the taco seasoning now that we added the cottage cheese and cheddar in. And I'm gonna put this on a slow burn just because I don't want the cottage cheese to like get all nasty if we put it on high. Okay, so the pasta is cooked. Now we have our frozen broccoli on the stove cooking. And I added 60 grams total of cheddar cheese into this already. And it is looking much thicker and a better creamy consistency rather than runny, because I want it to be more like a queso, but not as hearty. So our chicken buzzed, and I realized I have Greek yogurt on it, so it has to cook longer. So we have it cooking for 35 to 45 minutes. There is our ground turkey. Okay, so update. I figured out how I was going to store my pasta. I am going to put half of it towards my meal prep. Half of it, I'm gonna toss it in some olive oil and then put it in my freezer. I don't know how that's gonna work. Since when did tomatoes say do not refrigerate on them? My tomatoes say do not refrigerate. What? Okay guys, you're gonna need to cut me some slack. It's the first meal prep video in the new apartment, and I don't really have the things that I need to do so, but I wanted to do it anyways because it's realistic and it is what it is. Like, you do with what you have. This is my first time making these meals, and I've never made them before. I should have practiced them, but I thought it'd be more fun to do it on camera, like, obviously. This is the most tedious part. Some people just track it like through what they ate throughout the week, and they don't like measure it perfectly. But I like to measure. I think I'm dehydrated, guys. I barely drank water today. I didn't put anything on the broccoli because we're gonna put the chicken on top. That's good. The broccoli, turkey, rice, queso cottage cheese is looking like. And then I'm just gonna add a little sprinkle of cheese on top of every single one. Meal prepping is like exhausting. I don't like it. I measured out 5 servings of this pasta into this pot. I am going to shred this. Definitely could have done a better job, but I'm going to keep the chicken separate because I'm gonna want to warm it up a little bit before I eat it. And I don't think I prepped enough for the week for this amount of servings of pasta. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna keep the chicken separate from it, and then I don't have to worry about if I'm getting my full serving of protein or not. That is something I like to do as well, is just separate my carbohydrates from my protein, just so I can measure it out a little bit better throughout the week if I feel like maybe I didn't prep enough, or, you know, you don't want to overthink and overcomplicate things and get yourself in a tizzy for no reason when you could just separate it. Hi! All right, that goes all into the noodles. This salad is gonna have oil and vinegar, and I feel like you just can't mess that up. Oil, vinegar, and spices. Also, I want to teach you guys this that I learned from a lady online that said she worked in a kitchen. She said not to cut your onion a certain way. So when you're cutting your onions, you see the lines in it this way, that's the brine. You want to go with it so that your onions stay together. And so they're not like falling apart everywhere, I guess. I'm just going to sprinkle it all on. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So 30 grams. 30 milliliters. Let's see, yeah. Going to add some garlic. Probably this much. Some red pepper flakes, because I feel like that is just what I like. So we'll put a little parsley. A lot of dill. Okay, so pepper it up. And some salt. Vinegar. And some more olive oil. Just like a drizzle. Look at that. Thank you for joining me. This week's meal prep was kind of all over the place. I haven't actually meal prepped like this in quite some time, so I'm happy I did it on camera for you guys. And if you do make these meals, please make them better than I did. And I'm so excited to see you guys in the next video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Comment your favorite meal prep.